Welcome everyone to today's IHRSA webinar, CRM and Marketing Automation, Do I Need Both? At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce your speaker for today. Tammy Beil is the Director of Marketing. Tammy Beil has decades of executive experience in business development and marketing. Her leadership roles have included Fortune 100 companies, startups, and business ownership with the technology, fitness, transportation, home security, and healthcare industries. Beil is known for her ability to bridge the gap between sales and marketing, identify new markets and audiences, and break down the barriers to accelerated revenue growth. Tammy, if you're ready to begin, the floor is all yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, and appreciate everybody taking their time out of their busy schedule today to attend the webinar. CRM and marketing automation, do I need both? Well, let's take a look, and what I'd like to start off with, first of all, today is just really talk a little bit about what we have in the marketplace today, meaning talking about automation versus people. There's lots of buzz today around such things, and we hear it all the time. You know, artificial intelligence, we hear about drones, marketing automation, CRM, big data, chatbots. Man, it can really make your head spin some days, right? Lots of tech talk out there. But what really is happening? What does this really mean for us? We hear a lot of things, and there's fear out there sometimes too. Will automation really replace people? Well, we don't see that, and when taking a look at trends, specifically in the fitness industry, we really see there are some migrations that are happening. But really with some of those trends today, you do see and you hear about people really trending more towards wanting to work out at home. We're seeing things such as companies as Camp Gladiator and Peloton doing more things that might be taking people out of the gym and into different environments or back in their homes. But there still is a strong, and we believe there always will be, a very strong need for all of those roles that people really provide, and automation is just one way to actually enhance and actually free people up to have those personal interactions which are so important in our industry and in our business today. So when you take a look at automation versus people, what does it really mean? We still need human interaction. And actually, a lot of times and a lot of reasons people either join a gym or join a studio and come to classes is not just for what they're gaining, of course, from the actual class or the interaction itself, but it's the community of it as well, right? People are going to boutique type experiences. We're seeing big trends today, even on the retail side with malls, where we see retailers and big box stores going out of business, but they're being replaced with gyms and YMCAs, et cetera, where people are really coming and interacting and having an experiential experience. So we really believe that automation, although good, and you hear a lot about it, and we're going to talk today about how automation can help you grow your business, but it's really good on following up. It's really good on doing the automated, the repetitive type tasks is what it's best at. But it will not replace, and we don't think it will ever replace, all those interactions that you have to have, those more complex interactions that actually are conversations and face-to-face things that you will do with people throughout your business, and that is also how we believe you can build your business. So let's take a look, if we will, and I want to start off, first of all, we're talking today specifically about CRM, what we know and what stands for as Customer Relationship Management, and as you can see, even in the word itself, relationship is even built into the phrase. But I want to start off, first of all, with just talking about what I would call a textbook definition. And there's lots of them out there, but let's start out. Here's one that I think is very clear and concise. And of course, you can all read the slide. It says that its simplest definition, a CRM allows businesses to manage professional relationships and the data and the information that is associated with them. And that's really the key in this definition here. It's really the data and the information that is associated. So let's talk a little bit more about what CRM really is and what does it really mean. Let's talk, I want to give a little more background here and talk about changes that have occurred in the industry. So there's been a lot of change regarding, and what has happened is previously health clubs and gyms used to manage their leads, meaning their prospecting and their lead prospects how do you take a prospect and turn them into a member or a customer or a client? In the early days, gyms used to track all of this on paper, right? You used to write it down. Somebody'd walk in, you'd get their name, you'd capture their information, or you'd find leads through other ways. And you really did all of this manually. It was very repetitive. Also had lots of human error, losing paper, slips of paper, etc. But then we moved to where leads were collected in many different ways, more so coming onto electronically, doing away with the cumbersome idea of managing things via paper, trying to keep track of things. A lot of people, and some people still today, use Excel spreadsheets as a way, and that really was one of the first things when we're using things electronically. But the gym industry eventually moved into entering their lead information through their website or downloaded into an application. And this is really the first genesis of using a database. How do you keep and collect? You collect all those prospect information and put them into a database. And that's truly what a CRM is. It is a database, and this was really the beginning of the CRM era for health clubs and gyms. Well, what does that database really do for us once you collect that information? And that's today when you hear of things such as big data. What they're talking about there is companies, and by the way, we probably do it every day, one of the biggest collections of information about us, meaning us as consumers, is through your grocery store. Okay, every item you buy, when you hear that blip, beep, 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 as you're paying for your items, as it goes over the conveyor belt, they're collecting all that data. They're collecting all that information. What do you buy? When do you buy it? How often? This is what we know of as big data, okay? And this is what a CRM actually allows you to do. It allows you to see what is really happening with your prospect or your customer or client or your gym member. So what this really does, it allows for personalization. Long way around getting around to today, what a CRM really allows you to do is it allows you to personalize that sales process and how you go through the funnel. And we're going to look at a funnel in a couple slides here, how you really go through that entire process with that prospect and how you can personalize things and track things, such as really who are they? What is their demographic? Building what we call personas. What does that person really look like? How old are they? What is their income level? Where do they live? What are their interests? Do they have children? Do they have pets? All sorts of things, right? So this is what a CRM really allows you to do, which takes you one step further to try to have more and predict what their behavior might be. So really what a CRM does for us is really two different things. One, it allows for lead management, meaning you're capturing that lead information. It allows lead management. It automatically syncs with your web leads from your club website. So this is where you can take people that come in and hit your website through your SEO traffic, meaning your search engine optimization traffic. And we'll talk a little more about that in a future slide. But it takes all of that information automatically, taking away that repetitive task. It organizes your data for you. It takes that data and it organizes it so that you can reference it more easily, so that you can categorize people. It's what we call segmentation, so that you can categorize those things, and it really helps you maintain and update statuses on your leads and your members. What really is the status of some of your members? If they're, are they halfway through their annual membership? Are they about to expire? Did they just sign up? How often are they coming? These sorts of things. So this is what your CRM really does for you, and that's the lead management component of it. The next component really is managing the whole sales process itself. Once again, how do you take that prospect to a member and then keep them, retain them, and not only retain them, but turn them into advocates? Because that's really what you want to do. You want to take your member and you want to turn them into an advocate. So in looking at this, what the CRM function actually does for you, it also helps you with follow-up notifications via your sales staff or even for your sales staff. It's really particularly helpful if you have more than one location, if you have more than one center. It allows you to see and allows you to centralize how you manage that sales process across your different locations. It gives you historical follow-up and data. So it gives you all that historical follow-up and data so you can have notes on each prospect and member. It also allows you to see dashboards and reports. Here again, it allows you to manage and maintain what you're doing and what's happening in your sales efforts. So a CRM system is similarly built around, even though there's automation here, it is really built around people and relationships, which obviously that's why even, as I said, we have the word relationship right in the acronym and why it's so important to use it that way. So next I'd like to, after talking about CRM and what CRM really is, I'd like to turn our attention to marketing automation. I think these two things, and there can be some overlap sometimes, but there is, I think there's a lot of confusion sometimes of what is marketing automation and where does the CRM fit. And as I said, as the title of what we have here today is, do you really need both in your business to be successful? So taking a look here at what we have, here again, I'd like to start off with what is a textbook definition of marketing automation. As you can see here, it says marketing automation is computer programs to handle, here again, repetitive marketing tasks, such as sending emails and texts and handling your website interactions, even including, of course, social media. And we'll talk more about social media and the big impact that social media does have today. But let's take a look a little more about what marketing automation really does and what it can do for you. Marketing automation is really a set of tools. It's a set of tools that help you streamline and simplify the most time-consuming things within your marketing tool set. So, for example, it's really time-consuming if you wanted to go out there and you wanted to send the same email to 200 of your members, right? Or you want to send different ones at different times. This allows you to actually automate all of that. So it also helps automate your lead qualification. Here again, if you're creating things from a central location, what you're doing through digital campaigns, this means online, if you're doing any online ads, and it really simplifies the complexity of your marketing and your lead management. So it helps, not only that does it simplify it, but it also gives you a historical look at what is happening. So if you're sending emails and you're sending texts, it gives you information on what is really happening. How many people are opening your email? How many people are clicking through? How many people are converting? What time of day is better to send, et cetera, et cetera. These are just instances of how the marketing automation is used for you to gain and garner better results. So the other thing around the marketing automation is really this is any interaction with your website. I mentioned just a few moments ago about search engine optimization. As you try to drive more people to your center through digital marketing or through your social media, this also helps that when people Google things for your business to come up and to be listed. It helps drive engagement. It helps you drive engagement through your social media, whether you're doing things on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. The fitness business is wonderful and really fits well into both the Instagram and the YouTube platform. What people Google most are to-do type videos, which you can put lots of things on YouTube, and this really helps drive traffic to your website, meaning prospects into your center. But it really takes that data and it helps you as you go through the sales process to try to close those prospects and turn them into members. But that allows you, and here's where it frees up your time. If you're taking away these repetitive tasks, it really frees up your time to then focus on the human interactions. Whether you are the owner and you want to interact with your employees, you want to interact with your trainers, etc., or whether you are a trainer and you want to spend more time with the people in your classes, or you're a salesperson and you want to be sure that you're really talking to people and you're greeting people more in the center than you are sitting in front of a computer doing manual, repetitive things. So what does this really mean to do when we talk about marketing automation today? What we really have today is we have two, and I like to say we have two different categories or buckets, if you will. One is time-based, and this is automated tasks when you want to set things up that are based on the amount of time that has occurred between an interaction. So, for example, this may be you might want to send emails around people's memberships expiring. So if you know someone's membership is going to expire in the next 90 days, you might want to start communicating with them early and often. Or you want to communicate with somebody with a member who hasn't been in for a while, or somebody who has signed up for PT sessions and you know they're halfway through their term of their PT sessions. Or you may want to contact them. It's always nice when you get a message on your birthday, right? Happy birthday. So you want to really stand out from the crowd as far as really nurturing along and being sure that you are building that relationship with your members. The second one is action-based. This is really based on performing automated tasks immediately in response to an interaction that is occurring. So this might be you want to set your system to send an email or a text message to follow up anytime someone visits. They're a guest, right? It's their first time into your facility. They fill out a guest automated form. You want to immediately send something out that says, thank you for visiting us. You want to be sure you do that. Or somebody may purchase a class, or any type of interaction that they had with you. They may have bought something else in the center, that you want to be sure that you're doing things around action-based type activity. So let's take a look a little further at what marketing automation really does mean for us. And here are just some of these are the two main things that people think of when they think of marketing automation in actually setting up what we call cadences. These are specific time-based things that you send out either through email or texting campaigns. So these is just what you see listed here. These are very common examples of when you might want to send that type of communication. So the marketing automation really takes all that manual handling out of every email, every message, every campaign or post. So good automation really helps you identify your audience. So are you really sending the right message to the right person at the right time? For example, I think we've all had it happen to us where you may have gotten an email from somebody and it really wasn't appropriate, right? It might say, thank you for visiting our center today, when in fact maybe you weren't even there. Okay, these are people who are just blasting out messages, but they're not really personalizing things, or they're not really setting their system up to do things based on an interaction, right? They might be doing this on time-based rather than interaction-based. And these messages, that they can leave a bad taste in your mouth. So you want to be sure that you are communicating with people in these things when they have class trial invitations, class reminders, low class attendance, referrals, asking for referrals. This is a big one. You should be asking for referrals. These are your best word of mouth. Members bringing guests with them is still your best way to help grow your business. So this is really how you drive ROI and drive more revenue and more members into your center. Let's move on then next about talking about, okay, so now you're sending emails and you're sending text campaigns to stay in touch, one, to convert members, and two, to keep the members you have. But many times, and I get asked a lot of questions about content and cadences, by the way. How often should I be doing these things? Well, let's talk a little bit first about content. Content matters. Content matters a lot. And in marketing, we say content is king. And what this means is, and sometimes this can be the most difficult thing, what you should be writing. Well thought out messages and cadences, meaning how often you do these things, how often you send them, and when you send them is very important. One of the biggest things that we have found, and research bears this out, it's not necessarily sometimes how often you communicate with a member or prospect. It's just that once you set up a cadence, the most important thing is that you be consistent in that cadence. So what I mean by that is, if you're going to send messages to your members monthly, be sure that you do it on a monthly basis. If you're going to send messages weekly, be sure you're doing it on a weekly basis. The important part here is to be consistent so that your members realize, yes, I do get weekly messages. Yes, I do get monthly messages. And the monthly messages can be just as effective as weekly ones can be. But certainly the more times you touch your people, you stay top of mind, whether that be for them to upsell them or whether it be to ask for referrals. But content really does matter, and be sure that those cadences you're setting, that's one of the things, and I'll talk about some of our offerings in a bit here. But I want to go to now, we've talked about CRM, what is it? We've talked about marketing automation, two different things, but they're often somewhat related. But I think this graphic, and this is really explains, I think, beautifully why you really do need both. So when we get asked, and a lot of times we do get asked, do I need both of these things? Can I just do this with the CRM? Do I really need the automation piece? And I think this graphic here is really, and if there's nothing else today you remember or take away from the session, I think this right here is very important. This really shows you, and this is a depiction of a sales funnel, what it would look like starting, of course, at the very top where you would be filling your funnel. These are your raw leads, meaning these are prospects. This is anyone who shows any interest at all, whether it be online, whether they stop in, whether they've been referred by a current member or a past member. And so these are all your prospects and your raw leads. Taking them down as you go through the funnel and you qualify them, are they viable leads? Okay, and taking a look at, as you go through each part, and the top of the funnel is really where you have your marketing automation. So this is where you go from a raw lead to is it truly a good prospect, to then nurturing that lead, really having active leads. At this point, this is where your salespeople should be starting to take a look at these leads, and then really making them marketing qualified. Yes, this is a lead that should be passed on to a salesperson. So that whole top part of the funnel is where marketing automation comes into play. This is where you would be doing the repetitive things. This is where you'd be sending the emails, the texts to try to convert them. Then once sales accepts that lead and converts them, and you take a look at all those opportunities and you sign them up and they become members, here's where the CRM process takes place. This is where the database, this is where you should be looking at who's in your database, who are they, what do they look like, how can you predict what sales are coming in, and this is really, here again, why you truly do need both. They are distinct things, and they are most effective, by the way, when used in tandem with each other in this way. Some people ask that question as well. Well, if I just have CRM, will it still help me? And the answer is yes, it will. Certainly, the more organized you can be in things, yes, it will help you. But I will say that if you use both of them, the automation, the marketing automation, the CRM together, you will find your optimum experience. After taking a look at the funnel, we will go next to talking about the benefits and the risks of automation in general. Okay, and here we are. I did refresh, so thank you very much. Seems like we're back on track here. So benefits. Benefits of automation. Thank you, Robin. So getting back to here, after taking a look at the funnel and why we do need both, talking about automation in general, the benefits, obviously less manual work. Takes away a lot of human error as well. Okay, we've touched upon this previously. But here are some other benefits of it. It can really foster onboarding and training of your staff. Many times, if you take away the repetitive things from your staff, it allows them to do other things. It allows them to do the interaction with people, which is really what all of us probably in most cases really enjoy. It's really very important if you have multi-locations. So here again, you can create consistency across your business. You can be sure that you are sending the right message at the right time to your audiences. And it helps streamline that top of the marketing sales funnel for you. And this can be, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of repetitive work if you're doing this in a very timely manner and you have cadences set up. It also helps really foster productivity amongst your employees. And you just can be more concise. It also helps drive management decisions. A lot of times, if you don't have data and you don't have the historical look, you have to make management decisions that I like to say are steeped more in emotion and they're not data-driven. But when you're doing things through automation, when you can have and you have the reporting and you have the dashboards that you can take a look at and analyze and evaluate what is effective, what isn't, and how your business really is doing and where you're really getting your prospects and members from, this really helps you to make data-driven decisions and not emotional decisions. It takes all that emotion out of it and really helps. Going next then to, certainly in any automation, anybody who's ever done it, there are some risks. Definitely, you have what is your initial setup time, right? You have to, and a lot of times when we deal with people, this can sometimes be a bit trying, setting everything up. You want to get it in there, you want to get it working, but you certainly have to give yourself time to have everything set up properly. It may feel like you've diminished that personal experience or that human element. what I would say here is please be sure that you're not hiding behind technology. Meaning we've all had it happen to us when there is something that happens and people say, oh, well, that's the technology, this doesn't work or that doesn't work. And that may very well be the fact, but don't hide behind it, right? If you do have an issue, you do need to take care of it, you do need to troubleshoot it, and you need to fix it. But please be sure that you are keeping that human element in mind, especially as you go through that sales funnel. Risks is if you sync with other programs, such as we do, meaning we have a lot of integrations with different billing providers out there, being sure that everything is syncing properly. Sometimes can be a bit challenging, but certainly we always work through those things. It also requires a high quality of data, meaning you have to continually tweak these things. And we all know what the old adage is, junk in, junk out. Meaning this data is only as good as the data that your people are putting into it, right? Or that your prospects are filling out. So you do have to be sure that you do have integrity in the data itself, especially when making those decisions based on what you're seeing. And of course, there's always a learning curve with technology. There's no doubt about it. Employees need to learn it, but certainly it's worth the learning curve to really take the repetitive tasks away and be more automated. But certainly you have to be willing to go through that learning curve. So what I would like to do now for the remainder of our session today here, I'd like to talk about, now that we've talked about CRM, marketing automation, what it is, the risks, the benefits, I'd like to talk about some very specific business challenges that we find. I've outlined the top 6 common ones that we see and we hear about a lot. And what they really are, these are the top 6 that we get asked about many times of what to do. Here are some challenges I have in my business, and how can CRM or how can marketing automation help me in these situations? What can I do? The first one is I don't have enough qualified leads, right? I need to fill the top of that funnel. I can't fill my trainers' classes. I have leads, but my trainers' classes aren't filled. I'm booking classes, but the customers aren't showing up, okay? I have leads, but I can't get them to buy something. And this may be not just meaning they are a member, but it means you can't get them to buy other things that you may be selling in your center. My clients aren't buying new classes or renewing, okay? They may have signed up, they come once, but I can't get that repetitive buying out of them. I am selling packages, but my members aren't using the package at all. And these are all slightly different. They may seem similar, but they're not. They're slightly different, and they are common challenges. So let's just take a look at each and what we can do with it. Okay, challenge. I don't have enough qualified leads. Really, this is talking about what we're looking at here is promoting your current classes through email and text, advertising, and social media. So here again, starting with marketing automation, trying to fill the top of that funnel, using email, texting. You might be putting things out on your social media channels. By the way, there's a lot of members are driven through Facebook and Instagram and YouTube these days. Your advertising that you may be doing as well. Your prospect can fill out that online form. That online form, the lead automatically comes in through your marketing software, through your marketing automation, and your staff can follow up on it. So here's a way for you to fill that top of your funnel and really start getting some really great prospecting going. If you would go to the next slide, please. Okay, the next slide. Challenge, I can't fill my trainers' classes. Okay, so here you are, you've got members, etc., but your trainers' classes aren't filled. Here's a way that you can really promote. We have something called Facebook ads integration. So right off of your social media, this is a great way. In fact, I just had it the other day. I was at the salon, and my stylist, right there on her mirror, she had in, please check in via Facebook, like me, and, you know, really give you an offer for you to put a picture up there when she was done, of course, styling my hair. But you can do the same thing. This is a way that leads come into your CRM function. Okay, this is a great way for your trainers to promote their individual classes. Okay, you can promote your classes right there through your social media. You can promote them also through email or texting directly from your trainers. The prospect fills out a form again. You can also send an automated text for them to follow up, for them to sign up, and prospects can take advantage of a promo you might want to offer. You know, take your first class free, or, you know, this week, X number of spots, you know, we have open, you can gladly come in and try it out. So this is a great way for you to get much more specific, much more personalized. It's also a way, if you have some people that haven't been coming, for you to reach back out to them. It might be a great way to also get someone into your classes. If you'll please go to the next slide, the next challenge we're talking about here. I'm booking classes, but my members aren't showing up. Oh, it's the old dreaded no-shows, right? We all have that happen. You have a full class, your trainer thinks they're going to be, you know, you're totally booked, you think the gym's going to be filled, and you have quite a few that don't show up. One of the things you can do here, and this is a great thing here again to build a relationship, is when your member purchases or books a weekly class, the day before, send a text reminder. Okay, this is a great way, and we do know that people tend to open up text before they open up emails. So if they are signed up and you've had them agree to being texted, and that's many times we do that through our software, is for them to be in agreement, so you certainly will be in compliance. You'll have no legal issue there. You can text them as a reminder, you know, just a reminder, tomorrow is your class, or even if it's an evening class, you can remind them that morning. But it's just a reminder, and it helps you absolutely keep your members in and keeps consistency. It's also a great way just to build that relationship with your existing members. If you'll please go to the next slide. I have leads, but I can't get them to make a purchase. Okay, so here you are, you have leads. This is what we call mid-funnel problems. These are people that are midway through your funnel. You have them in there, you're communicating with them, the marketing automation is working, etc. You're doing the repetitive emails, but you can't get them to convert. So what we do here is you have a prospect filling out a form. Here you know their interest and their information. This can be a way for you to do what we call, a lot of times, to do different types of communications. Not everybody likes the same, not everyone likes to communicate in the same manner. Some people prefer text. Some people prefer email. So here, there's a way you can text, then follow up with an email several days later for a really consistent cadence. And here, hopefully, the prospect will click the link or the email and the text and sign up. And here again, if there's an offer that you put with this, offering a free class or offering some type of whatever, you know, maybe it's something in the gym that you want to give away, or you want to offer for them to bring a friend for free. Anything at all like that, some type of offer to help them convert. If you will please go to the next slide. Next situation here, clients aren't buying new classes or renewing. This is a retention issue. Here's where, and this is definitely your CRM portion of your automation. You may have members, you may have clients, and obviously they're paying their membership, or they bought their membership. They sign up, say, for a 6-month package or a class, but they soon start dropping off, right? After 5 months of attending, the package is about to expire. What you want to do is you want to be sure you're communicating early and often with these people. First of all, if they aren't renewing, there must be a reason they're not coming back. So you might want to find that out. But you also want to be sure that you're giving them automated messages. You want to be sure that they remember that their class is going to renew, that you have a renewal coming up. This speaks also to loyalty and advocacy. Some people do say here, well, why would I want to send something and let them know their class is going to expire because they might go somewhere else? Well, I would say to you, people do clearly know. They may not be keenly aware of the date that it may expire, but you're really not gaining anything by not communicating to them. Because the fact is, even though they may be a member at your gym, everybody out there is trying to communicate with them or is trying to woo them into their center or their gym. So the more communication and touch points you have, the better off you probably will be. Let's go then last to the sixth situation here that I've outlined. If you'll please go to the next slide. I'm selling packages, but my customers aren't using them. This is quite different. Here again, this is a member that was very motivated, but for some reason, even though they've signed up, they haven't shown up for classes. So here again, sending a text or an email, getting them to invite them for an available class really can work. One thing I want to share with you, we do have an existing client here that I'd like to share, and it's called Texas Family Fitness. We have a case study that shows the Texas Family Fitness, what they did. They had members, of course, that had expired and hadn't signed up and were coming back. And so what they did is they used their CRM package with us, and they did a campaign in April of this year. They did a one-time shot of email marketing out to members that had expired in the last 6 months. And these members had not come back. What they did is in one email, what they got was the results, 143 members rejoined. 143 members rejoined. That really conveyed to them $24,000 in lifetime value, meaning $24,000 of lifetime customer value they literally made within that month, which was really a 615% ROI on their monthly investment with their Club OS subscription. So the point is these things do work, because I do get asked, do people really drive membership through this? And this was just one example of a client of ours who used it very effectively to go back to those members who had expired and hadn't signed up again, but really they regained and they regarnered that interest. So that's just one concrete example of how you can use a CRM. If you will go then to the next slide, please. I would like to just kind of end today on just two separate notes here. First of all, just Club OS, really, who are we? What do we do? We actually do both things. Our system here is really a lead management system. So here at Club OS, it really is a CRM, because we do the lead management, all the follow-ups, but we also can help you with marketing campaigns. You can schedule email and text marketing campaigns. You have sales follow-up and scheduling, and we also provide training management. So you can host and sell PT packages and set recurring invoices to automatically bill through integrations that we have with some of the largest billing providers. We do have integrations where we pull this information both ways. It's a true integration. We're some of the largest in the industry. We integrate with ABC Financial, with Jonas Fitness, and on the studio side, we integrate with MindBody as well. And so we're very active in the marketplace with our partnerships with those and some others as well, but those are the major ones that we integrate with. It's not the complete list, though, but thought I would mention those. So what I'd like to do then, that takes us to our last slide. If you don't mind, Robin, going to the last slide, which is slide 24. I would just like to say what we're trying to do here at Club OS is we're trying to help every fitness center grow their business so that they can help change the lives of their members. I want to thank you for your time today, and on behalf of everyone here at Club OS, I want to thank the folks at IHRSA for allowing us this time here with all of you, and for all of you spending your time with us. And I will turn it back now to Robin there for a short Q&A session.
Great. Thank you so much, Tammy. Anyone who hasn't had a chance to submit questions that might have one, you can do so now by navigating to that Q&A tab above the webinar slides. And I will jump right into the first question we have here for you, Tammy. So the first question is, with marketing automation, isn't there the danger of oversaturating my prospects and members with emails? How do I make sure I'm not badgering my clients with any communication?
Oh, well, thanks for that question. It's a great one. And certainly, yes, there is such a thing as in marketing, we do talk about there can be what we call fatigue, meaning there can be ad fatigue. But one of the things I would say are big indicators for you when trying to consider the cadence that you want to set. First of all, if you are concerned about that, I would tell you to automate things doesn't necessarily alienate people, and you might be surprised at that. But the real bottom line is that to answer that is you setting a cadence in these messages, and how you will know is you should always be sure that whatever you're using, whoever system you use, that they can automatically unsubscribe. We watch our unsubscribe rate, and if you get a very high unsubscribe rate, or as you're going through your cadences, if you see your unsubscribe rate increasing, that is truly an indication to you that you're now probably at a point of fatigue or you're wearing some of your people out. Now, you might say, well, what is a high unsubscribe rate? Our subscribe rates we see here, and I would say on average, you don't, when you do a first blast of something, you will always get your highest unsubscribe rate, which is typical because those people that don't want to hear from you, they obviously can unsubscribe, and that'll be your highest. But after you send one or two, like emails or texts, it really should come down to a level that you should see should be pretty consistent. And I would say you want unsubscribe rates that are definitely 5% and under. I think once you get into a higher rate, as long as it's not your first blast, when you should settle into something that is definitely not 10% or higher. If you're getting more than 10% of your people unsubscribing, there's an issue. You're either not sending the right message, or you are really spamming people. So you need to be careful about that.
All right, moving to the next question. This attendee would like to know, what is the average cost of integration with Mind?
We have different, it cut off, but can you repeat it? I think what is the average integration with MindBody?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, we actually customize some things, and we have different packages, and they're based on what your needs are. That's one of the things here at Club OS. Certainly we have a basic package, and we don't quote we just don't give blanket rates, but we certainly can work with you, and whoever that is, we'd be more than happy after the webinar to have somebody reach out, and you can take a virtual tour, and we'd be happy to go through the packages with you.
All right, great. The next question we have, what incentive did Texas Family Fitness offer to entice members to rejoin?
That's a nice one. That's a good one. There weren't any major incentives. They basically, the email they sent basically said, and we have the case study, you can actually download it from our website, but they basically said, we miss you, we want you back. What they did do is they had some things that they felt they needed to focus on and that they needed to communicate to those people, which they did in the email, and they felt that was really the reason many of them came back. Now, I will say, though, I like the idea of giving some kind of promotion. I would say definitely you would see a really, you will see a much bigger, I shouldn't say not bigger, but a greater response if you do want to give an offer. Like you might want to give your first month free. You can come bring a friend, you can both work out, for a month or something, whatever you want to give. But in their case, they just outlined some of the things that they had changed about what they were doing, and they felt that really drove the response.
Okay, thank you for your response on that. The next question we have, do you work with any other systems other than MindBody that you integrate with?
We do. We have a whole host. We have our integrations listed on our website. I mentioned just really several of the, the most prominent ones, but yes, we do integrate with others, and we do also have some packages that we offer that are non-integrated, meaning you can use our product without integrating with a billing provider. So you can work with us in a non-integrated area as well.
Okay. The next question we have for you, is it really financially viable for a single location fitness club to have both a CRM and marketing automation?
Oh, absolutely. certainly, I did mention throughout the presentation here today about some of the benefits if you have more than one location and how automation really helps you and provide consistency. But from a financial perspective, absolutely. Because what it really does is it really drives members. It really helps. It helps drive prospects, and then it helps take those prospects to members. And certainly, even with one location, what the cost would be, what a monthly subscription would be with the new members you should drive, it absolutely should be. It's financially viable, no doubt about it. In fact, I would say if you're a single location, in some ways, I think it's even more important because you're reliant on that one location, and you need to be sure you're being successful from that one location. And so it's even more important to be sure that you're not passing up any prospect or that you're keeping every member you have, but it certainly is financially viable.
Great. The next question, how can automation help me with retention and attrition?
Absolutely. It isn't just to bring in, and that's really the CRM piece of it, meaning the customer relationship management piece of it. It really helps you with keeping so for example, some of the common issues we talked about, if you have members, and we know in this business, in the fitness business, particularly, we know the biggest time of year, everybody joins on January 2nd, but statistics show us by June they're not showing up anymore, and many of them drop off in the first 90 days, right? Everybody makes a resolution. They're going to lose weight, stop smoking, get fit, eat better, et cetera. But the reality is, even though everyone, most people are well-intended to keep on whatever to keep in alignment with whatever their fitness goals were, they drop by the wayside. Many things happen. So this is a way, the CRM, if you continue to reach out, that you stay top of mind, to text them so that they do continue to come in. And it also allows you to give promotions, or better yet, ask for referrals. So those people who are coming, you want to be sure you're keeping it fresh. You want to be sure that what you're doing in your center is keeping them coming back and really building that sense of community. I do want to reinforce once again, at the very beginning, we talked about this in automation, but it still is a people business. And people come to fitness centers. One of the biggest reasons people come to fitness centers is for the camaraderie of it. There's no doubt about it, or many times people come and they have a friend that they work out with. Or if they're taking classes, they're part of a group that they keep coming back. And those things are very important, and those things all speak to retention, but you can also do that stuff through automation.
Okay, great. Well, it looks like we don't have any other questions from our attendees here, so this is a good time to wrap up. Is there anything else that you would like to share with everyone here today, Tammy, before we close out?
No, I thank those for the questions. I thank once again everybody who joined us today. I would just say, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and visit our website. You can take a virtual tour. You can download ebooks. We have a wealth of content up there for you to help you run and manage your fitness business. And we are, our fitness space is our niche. What I would like to say last is we were really founded by Adam Stokar, who we only work with fitness businesses. So we know and understand the challenges that you're facing out there today. And so please do visit us at ClubOS. It's club-os.com. Thank you again on behalf of everyone here at ClubOS. We appreciate IHRSA giving us this opportunity. It was a joy and a pleasure working with you, and thank you everyone who attended.
All right, on behalf of IHRSA, thank you, Tammy, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Real quickly, I would like to direct everyone's attention to the survey that should be on your screen. If you can take a moment to complete that brief survey, your feedback is greatly appreciated, as it does help IHRSA in planning for future webinars. Again, thank you for joining us today, and we hope that you have a wonderful afternoon.